Pronto, signore. Formazione.
How are we doing out here? Still beating up ships, which is good to see. What about Africa? They don't seem to be moving troops away from Africa, which is irritating me. Considering this assault on India, which is far more important. These are probably British colonial troops. Yeah, probably, but these are not. These are American. Alright, that guy's gonna die. We should keep them pinned, and they are out of supply. So once you're done with that, go and attack him. You go and assist.
Ordini.
Shortage of guns grows ever more acute. Oh, we're losing another province. Get over there. Attack them to stop them. How far are you? 2 days. We have some cavalry on the way in.
Sì, signore. Sì, signore.
Okay, we're back in position, so you can just halt. You can just halt. Cool. We didn't lose anything, it's fine.
Pronto. Attento.
Meanwhile, you lot can be assigned to there. I think that this attack against India is more important than the Soviet push.
Ordini. Formazione.
So, do I have any troops that I can spare from elsewhere?
Formazione.
Not really.
Vi respingiamo, signore.
How close is India to capitulation? It's not. I mean, the one thing I could do is remove these guys, but that would be dangerous.
Pronto all'azione.
And you're already overburdened.
Ordini.
Well, you lot feel like you'd be successful, so go ahead and counterattack. I don't really have anything to send you guys to help you. If the Germans come in, that would be nice, but not critical. Oh, we have quite a few men over here.
Formazione.
In fact, I think I might just send a bunch of them over to this side. Yeah, this is a better idea.
Ordini.
Let's reorganize our defenses on the steppe side, because not important. Reposition them on the Caucasus, and then I can free up the Cyan army and send them over onto the other flank, because we're only actually guarding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 provinces here. And having 2 artillery in each is fine.
Comandi. Comandi.
Wow, we actually took Ahmedabad. Interesting. I will admit, I did not expect that.
Pronto, signore.
Greater Hungary are no longer lend-leasing me. What? But I need stuff and things. How's the war going? Was away for half an hour. Well, this is the biggest change. Big assault into India. Astronauts, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Right, and I do want a new national focus. It is going to be naval production. So that's what's called a continuous focus, which just keeps on going over time. And generally gives you bonuses of some kind. In that instance, into just general production of navies.
Prendete la mira.
Okay, so America is repositioning a lot of troops over to the India front. Hopefully from elsewhere. Could fall back into Egypt and shorten the front line also. Yeah, I know, but I fought so bleeding hard for this territory. I am trying to shorten the front line a little bit, but I think the main shortening I can do is pulling the Scion back. This is a really important front. I mean, the other thing I could do is just try and upgrade more of these guys to the upgraded. Okay, we have loads of motorized now, so I'm going to significantly cut motorized back. We'll have 2 full lines instead of that. More guns. More heavy fighters. More close air support for sure. Alright, we'll keep 3 lines, because I do want to keep building motorized. Try and get some more tanks done, if possible. Hungary claims overlordship over Slovakia. The Hungarians have raised claims that Slovakia should be once more part of their nation, either as an integral part or an autonomous region. An ultimatum to this effect has been issued, backed with the threat of force, and diplomats from several European nations are in a frenzy trying to find a peaceful solution to this latest crisis. Really? You sent an ultimatum to Germany? Not sure that's wise. Is motorized the same thing as infantry but faster? Yeah, basically. A diplomatic crisis has erupted between Germany and Hungary concerning the fate of Slovakia. Miklos Horthy has previously declared that Slovakia was a core interest of Greater Hungary, owing to its great historical ties with Hungary. His government expected to be consulted on any measure concerning Slovakia. German leader Adolf Hitler has refused any such demands, calling them foolish and dangerous interference in the internal affairs of a sovereign nation. With tensions running high, more and more observers are wondering if Hungary might resort to violence rather than deliver a fait accompli. So yeah, motorized is basically you've given your troops trucks and cars and things like that, so they move a lot quicker. And motorized are generally a very good idea to have with tanks, because motorized will keep up with the tanks, whereas infantry won't. So if you want your tank divisions to actually be quick, particularly light and medium tanks, motorized are the way to go. And later on, if you can afford it, mechanized, which are basically armoured trucks. Spain's cancelled their Lend-Lease. Stop cancelling Lend-Leases! I need that stuff! Oh, I'm gonna keep the tanks going that way. You, however, please make a rush for Delhi. Because if I can trap all of the Indian and American troops in the north, that's fine. As long as I can cut them off, like, through Nepal or something, that would be a really good thing for us. We seem to be holding here just fine at the moment. Oh, I really wish I could move the Scions. Delhi has defenders. They are scrambling to get into position. Both of those were strategic movers. Let's have you attack into there. Yeah. Soviets are doing a really big attack here, and those Scions are pretty critical for that defense. lot of them have taken a lot of damage too. Boom, Delhi has fallen. British Raj is now starting to face some form of capitulation pressure. Right, let's go and reposition you lot to about there. Because I just want you to keep punching across here if you can.
Andiamo!
Move that to there. Go. Now what I would like is for you to just cut across here. Let's get the cut off against Nepal. Encryption, decryption, floating airfields. One more naval doctrine to go. And one last encryption to go. Magnificent. And at that point, my high seas fleets are going to be, or surface fleets are going to be good enough to go up against the British. Particularly when we get these 3 new battleships actually built. Now watch as they immediately sink. We're getting a lot of factories from India, which is rather nice. What else are we short on? A little bit short on artillery, but very short on just guns. So I think what I need to do is switch you to this. And we're also going to need to buy in a bunch more steel. Although Germany is rapidly running out, I guess we'll have to buy from Vichy. And then some more tungsten from Portugal, which apparently we now have a land connection to. And then some more rubber from Japan. That works. How are we doing for production? We are building the infrastructure in those areas so that I can get the supply. How are we actually doing for supply? Now that we're more spread out, I think we're fine. Because we're getting more ports on the coast, which is going to be helping supply in port as well. How's destroyer tech looking? You're still on earlier destroyer hulls. We're on the 36 destroyers, I think. No. Yeah, 36. Which for my purposes is fine, because we are not really fighting very many submarines. There's the odd one, but we're actually pretty well equipped for it.
Prendete la mira! Vi respingiamo, signore! Avanzate! Ordini!
Praska has been wounded. It's the same guy. Arrgh. Alright, well I think the easiest thing I can do for you is just stop. General is wounded, but they generally don't try to attack me very heavily here. Although they've clearly been bringing in reinforcements because of this attack, which has probably been denying reinforcements to India, which is still the much bigger problem for the Allies right now. How are we doing over on this side? We seem to be entrenching pretty nicely. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel your orders now. And we're going to send you to hold the north of this line. And I think I'm just going to bring in a couple of additional units from here. Just to make sure that they can hold okay. Meanwhile, Balbo has infantry expert. Here we go. Another 10% infantry attack. Glorious. How's Messe doing? Still doesn't have either of the 2 abilities I want him to have.
Continuate l'attacco. Ordini.
Oops.
Ordini. Pronto. Riparatevi.
Get across here before these guys move in. Oh, they're moving around the back anyway. Oh no, they were going here. At least somebody was. Alright, now we're starting to suffer some supply issues. They're not awful. Is it anything I can do? Okay, we now have a lot of tungsten again. We need some more steel. Whoops. Let's buy in just one more steel. And... actually, it's fine. It's just going to be repairs that we need to do. Alright. The other thing I need to check is you need to start reinforcing and actually holding on to those zones. We are running some pretty hefty deficits for guns, which is not a good idea.
Sì, signore. Pronto all'azione.
Ah, we're about to take this. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I think the assault into India is going to be slowing down somewhat, but we've done a lot of damage here. Also, I just woke up from a nap, so it's true what people say about falling asleep to the sound of your voice. Oh, thanks, Marshall. Wartime stories with Mordred. So you're trying to make the longest coast possible by going around Russia and down into Africa just to one-up the Romans. Yeah. I guess. Maybe?
Fuoco nemico.
Okay, unfortunately the Americans are coming in with quite a few troops now. But we are still punching through here.
Ordini.
So I think that this might be the better option. Any other scions arriving? Starting to. It doesn't look like we've taken that much of a hit up here. In fact, the Germans have come in to reinforce us. Germany, meanwhile, I think is still pushing east. The Hungarian front is kind of collapsed, which is a bit irritating.
Pronto all'azione. Pronto, signore.
The UK has declared war on Iceland. Iceland has joined the Axis. Not sure there's going to be very much that we can do to help you.
Pronto.
We are so freaking close to cutting them off. I really want to do that. Ah.
Ordini.
And we might be about to, right up here in the north. I think we are. No, they've reinforced. Oh, oh, oh. That's, impossible. Oh, come on. So close. We are so close to getting this cutoff done. I don't know if they'll be able to fall back through China. They might be able to. Now, this is still a pretty major deal. Because if I achieve this, I'm going to stop the tanks attacking just so we're not wasting more of their equipment. Boom. Alright. So the scions are now dedicated to the northern front. The northern front is going to be pushing back to, let's say, this river and make that our standing position. Then these guys are going to reinforce this front, who are going to be responsible for pushing down all the way through India. Because that line is no longer relevant. Meanwhile, the Reds are going to stop attacking, and they're just going to stand their ground. And used Reds are going to move into that side, because we are not attacking north. We are only attacking south. And India is about halfway to capitulation, and the Malaysia is looking bad again. Japan is actually doing a lot more damage. Oof, we're not here. Yeah, Japan's definitely being pushed back by China right now. I'm doing my best.
Comandi.
I'm trying. Do I have any mountaineers for the Himalayas? Yes.
Pronto.
In Africa. Where they're fighting in the African Kenyan mountains. And Ethiopian mountains.
Pronto, signore.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Why are you training? No. Doesn't look like the Allies noticed. How long were they doing that for? October 1942. Could start going for... No, we need guns. We desperately need to upgrade our gun equipment. Alright. Now here's the thing. We don't really care about the north. I'm just going to wait until the Cyans and the Yellows get into their positions. Then I'm going to move the tanks down here into the south. Where basically we're going to try and cut across and then down. I think. Or maybe we'll just go down the coast. No, I think it'll be better if we go across than down. So starting from here, across, using this river as kind of our northern border. Okay, units have arrived in all of those locations, so Reds cancel orders. You are now going to be assigned to here. And your job is going to be to push through to about there. Encryption! Okay, so we've got all of the encryption now. Let's get the 1940 research. Nuclear research. Because that's one that I often miss, but it is actually a very useful one to get, because it does provide another 4% research speed. Vike! Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel.
Formazione.
How are we doing for equipment? Artillery was short. Motorized we're fine. Support equipment we're very short. Tanks we're short. I mean, the other thing that we would be nice to do is research our own medium tanks, because there is a production penalty for it being a license. But this has saved me a lot of research to get this.
Attento.
I think the Germans are being pushed back again. Although the Soviets must be hemorrhaging troops right now. 5.9 million losses. Germany's got 3. The Allies have now lost 11 million. Them's a lot. Ooh, we're being pushed ourselves.
Andiamo.
Go there.
Pronto, signore.
Go there.
Avanzate. Avanti. Avanzate.
Glad I checked that. That would have been bad.
Attento. Attento.
Okay, I think we're good. really losing supply here? Oh, we are. Interesting. So level 5. I don't really want to upgrade it any further. These should be 5s too. So let's go pop them to the top of the list so that they can get built first. We'll make sure that that gets done.
Formazione.
Let's have you guys force march down there. Holding out for now, but we are fighting against 14 divisions. And we are now losing air superiority here. How bad is it? It's mostly just a lack of fighters. And we have some more fighters that we can bring in, so let's do it. We're going to bring in heavy fighters. We're going to bring in regular fighters. And we'll bring in another close air support as well. And all of you. And that. For them. And yes, please do spread out when you arrive. Right, the other thing that I want to do is get some more tactical bombers assigned to the Reds. And some heavy fighters, sure. Try that again. 100 of them. Lovely. Then I want tactical bombers. That's going to be you. You and you. You and you. Assigned to them. Glorious. Wonder why Italy never managed to be a great power in the more modern times. Yeah, lack of investment in industry seems to be the main reason. At least during these modern times. World War modern times. We are 42. We could definitely do with the Tier 3 artillery. That would be a pretty big boon.
Pronto.
So very close to getting cavalry leader. So close and yet so far. Should probably check our navy again. Because it looks like the Battle of the Atlantic is heating up. And we could probably do with getting Tier 3 subs sooner rather than later. Oh, hello.